Good morning, nerds, and welcome to another episode of Tethered by the Table. My name is Nathan, your dungeon master for the morning. And Megan,
Hi,
introduce yourself.
yeah. Hi, I'm Megan. I'm residing over here. Um, yeah, I'm a nursing student by day. Um, and really, I would rather much be a dungeon, a dungeon delver my
Uh,
entire days. Sorry, I
entire
really
days.
do need a script.
No, yeah, I think that was perfect. That displayed your personality to a T. And if the copy hasn't hit yet, you can fall back asleep. Or sorry, I can't even I even messed up my script. If the copy hasn't hit yet and you fall back asleep, or you just can't stand to look at us, don't worry. The recording of the session will be posted as an only version and on our YouTube channel the following Friday. And you can find our channel by finding Tethered by the Table on YouTube or following links in our bio. But we are super excited to play this next episode here. Episode two was posted. We lost episode one. Episode two was posted on YouTube and onto Spotify, which means, um, Megan, do you want to tell us what happened last time?
Yes. Okay. All right. Let me try. Okay. So we met up with the viceroy, um, and he sent me on a little quest to go and find his buddy who supposedly had information on the killing of his friend. Um, and so his name was Gatriar Relum. And so I was sent to go look for him in this brothel. And so we went there, and they have the body of the guy that was murdered, and he was going to they were looking at it, and we were just about to go to where the body resided when all of a sudden we got kind of ambushed by, I think they were zombies, or like or I don't know if zombie is a word, but
Yeah,
kind
we'll
of
do
like
zombies,
zombies.
but technically it was a
Yeah,
ghoul and shadows,
a
and so
ghoul.
ghouls,
Sorry.
if you want to get into the technical terms here, ghouls are like
Yeah,
zombies of cannibals, and so they're like crazy people, but like it's still the undead genre. You're still
they
good
were.
with calling
Oh,
them zombies.
oh. I didn't, they legit have to be cannibals in their living day to be a ghoul.
Yeah, I don't know if ghouls are like dead and then they resurrect as like a cannibal like dies and then resurrects as a ghoul, or if a
Ooh.
cannibal is just eating people and then they like become a ghoul. I'm not completely sure, but there is a difference between zombies and ghouls. And
Okay.
not that it matters too much, but it was technically a ghoul that you attacked.
Okay, so it was they were ghouls. And then yeah, all of a sudden shadows came around. Gatriar got like freaking he was getting thrown around. But we were able to kill him and then or re-kill him, vanquish them. And then but then all of a sudden the we go to the main brothel area, and then there's this like sign, like someone painted on it, or it was made of fire. I can't remember between the two. And it was saying how, I don't know the viceroy's name, I always forget, but it basically said that he knew too much. And it was everything, and then everything was in flames, and so we had to run away. So we are currently out of the brothel trying to find a safe place.
Yeah, I dig it. All right, so yeah, I'd say that's pretty comprehensive. I don't think you really missed
Nice.
anything. So you're you're turning out to be more of a good note taker than I thought you were, which means I can't slide things by you as quickly. Whatever that's if whether that's good or bad, we'll see. But you are currently uh Gatrar.
Sorry, I
What?
don't. Mary just like dashed from the room.
You see it?
You'll see it in the recording. She's like half
Okay.
asleep.
Oh, hilarious. Hilarious. So Gatrar takes you as well as the other guard that was in the room that survived because I think the other two guards died. You guys
Yes.
bust out the back door of the Neuralist and kind of into the alleyway where the building kind of smoke billows from the back door, as well as you can kind of see where it's billowing out the front door. The building is on fire, and Gaichar is obviously very emotionally charged in this moment because is very pissed that his he has to move it that um his brothel is now his brothel is now on flames. And so at this point, what are you looking to do? You're kind of outside of the building, watching just the building in front of
Oh,
you um, smoke and burn.
all right. I'm gonna turn to Gatriar
Mhm.
and I'm gonna be like, "Do you have any idea who would want to destroy this brothel? Like, do you, yeah, end it there."
And he's like, I mean, I make plenty of enemies around in my area of expertise. I didn't think anyone would actually come for the brothel itself. Figured I'd be the first one to get assassinated.
Well, then what about that message on the wall? It seemed pretty clear. Like the viceroy knew too much. What was that about?
And he's kind of, you can see him kind of like biting on his lip and chewing on it, and kind of a lot of gears are working in his head as he's trying to think about exactly what's going on. Because I I don't know exactly what the meaning of that message is. Um, Emerald could, I mean, Emerald's a high political person. He could be knowing a whole lot of things. Um, I don't know what secrets that these are whoever this attacker is meaning by that type of message. I'm unsure
Okay.
exactly what he might be talking about.
All right. Well, I think what we should do, I think we should still our plan was to go see the body. I think we should still go see the body.
And he goes, okay.
If yeah, if they attack the brothel, they might be trying to do does anyone else know that you have a hold of this body?
No, we've tried to keep that very down low. I believe it's just Emerald, me, as well as Dr. Nicholas Jekka, who knows about the body. Of course, he's the one autopsying it. No one else should know. We've been keeping on the very low on the radar.
Okay. I say we head that way.
Excellent. Now he kind of looks at you can still he's occupied by this burning building because you might have to make this next journey you might have to go to Nicholas by yourself. I kind of want to make sure I can handle this situation. And if I could find somebody who could put out this fire, or if I could maybe there's some important documents inside that I might have to go and grab. Do you mind heading to Nicholas, to the doctor by yourself?
Yeah, that's fine. Just point me in the direction. Sh- do you do you want me to tell Nicholas that this happened, or do you want to keep this hush?
No, he wouldn't care anyways. He's a man that keeps to himself. So go, don't tell him. Let's keep it on the down low. I mean, it's gonna hit the news morning time anyways. So he'll find out as well with the rest of the people. But this shouldn't concern him.
Okay. Will I meet any pushback when I go see him, or is there a way for him to know that I'm there with your permission?
Um, if you mention that you're there for the body, he'll know that you're coming with intention.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm sorry about what happened. Um, I'm gonna head that way now.
He kind of sits back and he looks back at the building, and all thoughts of you are kind of leaving his mind as he's now looking at his prized possession, the Nerelis, up in flames, and he kind of goes, "Oh yeah, see you later," and kind of like walks. You see him kind of like start like inspecting the building as the flames are now kind of exiting the doors, and it's bad news. It does not look like it's good for that. And so you head over to, you follow the kind of crude the napkin map that he had provided you earlier, and follow the city streets. It really, you never kind of go back onto the main streets using this map. You're traveling by alleyway from the Nerelis over to a kind of more residential area of Cyanidel, the city that you're in. Now, ultimately, there is these houses that you're kind of coming by are stacked on top of each other, very compressed, it's just kind of almost like a wall of doors and rooms. And this, yeah, it's the equivalent of a high fantasy apartment building that you're heading to. And ultimately, the map kind of points you out to one of the lower building, like the lower houses on the ground floor. kind of tucked away in a secluded area, and you approach the front door of Nicholas Jekka. And as you approach the front door, you realize that the door is caved in, or almost like it's been broken
Oh
into,
no.
and is swinging on one of its two hinges, but it has been compromised.
Okay. Seeing this, I'm gonna put my hood up and I'm going to try to like just peek in and keep to the shadows, um,
Okay,
and kind of see if I can see anybody else before they see me.
perfect. So are you trying to be stealthy in the situation?
I am trying to be stealthy.
Roll a stealth check.
All right.
The first roll of the session, what's it going to be?
I know I was all prepared, and then I'm like, where the heck? Okay. Oh, I thought I was a little bit better.
Oh man.
Okay, a 19.
19, okay. So the you are able to kind of pull your hood up. Luckily, there's no really nobody on like the streets beside you. Like it's a dead part of the day. Forget whether or not it's night or day, but I'm gonna say in this situation it is now going on to nighttime. And so people have
Yeah.
already gone into their houses. There's not much commotion around, so there's nobody that's gonna see you on the outside. But as you kind of step through the threshold, avoiding where the door and bits and pieces are to make it to not make any noises, you enter the house and you are unseen. And now, if you want to turn um if you want to turn your map
Yeah.
on, there's gonna not be any combat, so I'm not gonna switch the actual stream
Okay.
to the combat, but I have created a little map that you can take a look at. And you might not see a lot now, but it's for you to
A
explore
little
with,
dark.
just so you can kind of
Okay.
conceptualize where we're looking at here.
Okay.
But
So,
you've entered into the main hallway. The as you enter the main hallway, it's very there's nothing of note here. In fact, there's really nothing at all in here. It's clean walls, except for the splintered wood that kind of looks like the door was burst open or was thrown open. Nothing in the hallway except for the fragments of the door that you just stepped over.
okay. Um, so looking at this, I want to, there's that corner.
Hmm.
Um, so,
Are you able to move your character? Try
think I
moving your character.
can. Yeah.
It won't
So I
mess with the
want
fog of
to,
war, but I'll you can kind of move
okay.
around.
So I want to come to this corner and peek around
Okay, perfect. As
before
you
I
peek
descending.
around, more of the room becomes available to you. 1 second.
Is it pretty, I'm assuming because I could see all this, there's light,
Um,
like from light sources, or
oh,
is it dim?
I just assumed that you had dark vision. No,
Oh,
just
well,
kidding.
you are right. I
Um,
do have dark vision. I didn't know. I just didn't want to say, well, I have dark vision.
yeah, yeah. No, I mean there are kind of it's lit. You're seeing let me see if I can plan around. Maybe I should just hold on. I'm gonna just switch to the virtual tabletop. Boom. That way there's no point in hiding this. Okay. So you can see that there is light. Once I find where's my stuff? Oh yeah. There is light emanating from this kind of hallway, and it's enough to
Okay.
dimly light this room here. And
Okay. So there's
as
just
you
a
kind of peek around the corner, this is yet another bare, empty room. There is absolutely
bare,
nothing
empty
in
room.
this room. The walls are clean. There's hardly even dust in the area. But the floor has been swept. It's just there's absolutely nothing.
Okay.
And
I'm gonna go.
I'll make a note. Just this is a door. This is what it
That's
means
a
when there's a
door.
door.
Okay.
And of course, this is a hallway. Just so you're
That's a
familiar with
hallway.
how the map works.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna be like, hey, little buddy. And I'm gonna grab Toll out. I'm
Hmm.
holding him in one hand. And I'm like, go search that room. I'm gonna send him out. The purpose of this is I love Toll. I know I can bring him back.
Yeah.
So in case that there is
You use it as a
Any
drone.
I'm using yes. If there's any pressure plates or anything like that, because I can bring him back, you know? I'm putting
Yeah,
my mask on before I put his on.
I get you.
He can't bring me back. If I'm gone, he's gone.
Yeah.
So sending him.
It's like a weird type of mask you're putting there. It's like a, I mean, I can resurrect you, so you go find out if there's a trap, because if I find out there's the trap, both of us are gone. But at least you can die, and I'll bring you back. Yeah, so you're gonna kind of just shoot him into the room here. Let
Yes.
me, I forgot to add Toll here. So here we go. There's Toll. Ta-da! And okay, so can you, so you should be able to control Toll as well. Can you control Toll?
Yes. And just so you know, he still has the golden bracelet wrapped around his belly.
So
Um,
like a little belt.
yeah, and he has the three jeweled rings on his tail. So it's
Excellent.
like,
Oh, I
yeah,
dig it. So he's decked out. He got a little bit of
he's
armor on him.
yeah, he's decked. Okay.
Perfect.
We're still trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out where he put the earring because it's not anywhere on him. So, okay. So he's gonna scurry around. This is how I imagine him.
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. And I mean, Toll crosses the room. Nothing. No, there's no sort of any clicking or any traps. Nothing of importance or of caution seems to arrive. But then again, he is tiny. He doesn't have a lot of body weight.
He's a little guy. He's a little anemic. Okay. He's gonna go this way.
All right.
He
Nothing.
he has an ulterior motive. He's also, I'm assuming,
He's also looting.
looking for, yes, also treasures.
Perfect.
He's going
Yeah.
for the
So
full plate.
the room doesn't seem to have any sort of. Oh, I should phrase it this way. Toll has not activated any traps or hidden compartments. I gotta be
All
vague
right.
with it so it still keeps you
I
nervous.
know. I know. You gotta. Okay, let's see. All right. Well, I'm gonna trust him. So I hear him scurrying about. I see him running. I'm gonna come in here.
Perfect. Now, are you entering the room still hiding, or I mean, the room's empty and you're kind of dropping your stealth?
I think I would look and I see nothing, so I drop it once I enter the room.
Okay,
I pull my
excellent.
hood off. I'm not actively trying to hide at this moment.
Perfect. Now, where would you like to go? We have a hallway over here and a door to the south.
All right. Tola and I are gonna split up.
Ooh, nice.
I
All right,
know,
which way
I
is Toll going?
cringed as soon as I said that. Oh, well, Toll can't open doors, so he's going down the hallway.
Excellent. Okay. So as Toll, and I'm, oh shoot, wrong one. I'm making, I should be erasing.
Oh,
As
and then
Toll, oh, sorry, you continue.
oh, sorry, I was just gonna let you know his site. Um, oh, I don't know what this means. Oh wait, wow. I hover over it and it tells me. Um, so he has blind sight within 10 feet.
Mhm.
So if you have blind sight, you can see within a specific range without relying on physical sight. Within that range, you could see anything that isn't behind total cover, even if you have the blinded condition or in darkness.
Oh, dang.
Um, Moreover, in that range, you could see something that has the invisible condition. And then
Interesting.
he also has dark vision, of course. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We look dark vision.
yeah.
Okay. So he enters in to the hallway, and he can see kind of through the hallway, and I'm sure you're viewing it as well.
Mhm.
Um, that he sees a room at the very end of the hallway, as well as another door right here. Um, like the little moving that he's doing. Yeah. So in this room here, let me pull up my notes here. There is the walls are still very bare and sterile. No wall art is hanging anywhere. No, even like scuff marks or dirt on the walls and floor. But as he enters the room, there is a chair. There is like a small little like library bookshelf, as well as I guess I can kind of as he enters the room completely. There is. Oh, one second here. I'll reveal the entire room here. Da-da-da. Oh, maybe I'll leave a little bit. Okay. There is a that just realized he's sitting in the chair. There's a chair here, and a bookshelf with a lot of books here, and then a fireplace at the far end. Nothing in the middle. There's just absolutely no furniture in here except for the chair, the bookcase, and the fireplace.
Okay. Well, I'm sure he's going to be occupied just scurrying around looking at stuff. So while
Perfect.
he's doing that, I am going to go through this door like I originally said.
Okay, hold on. I need to step back something real quick, because I just scrolled down and realized there was more in my notes. Which is, and this is going to change something.
Oh
In
no.
this corner here, there is a
Uh-huh.
body. I forgot to mention that there's a body here.
Oh, right. Well, I don't know that, so Toll knows it. So Toll is going, knowing that Toll's going to be shuffling through the body trying to find things. So he's going to be over there.
Excellent. Okay. All right. So he's gonna start looting. Marlowe, you are across the house who is unaware that there is a body in
I
the
just, he's
house.
just going to town
It's
looking
like,
for
ooh,
things.
fresh, fresh meat.
Finally, I'm alone.
All right, you're gonna head for the door, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So as you enter the door, um, you find yourself in a kitchen of sorts. Um, one second, I'm trying to do this
Oh,
carefully. I
you're
want it to
good.
look nice. Whoa. Okay. All right, you find yourself in a kitchen of sorts. Okay. There are
Okay.
a couple of things of note here. Once I pull, and I'll make sure to read my entire notes this time. The kitchen is very clean and everything has its own space and is organized. Like there's the cutlery is few, the pots are fewer, and there's one plate kind of just sitting on the table that just looks like it's used and then rewashed and used. There's a lack of decadence or luxury or really anything still in this house. Table is neat, and there next to the plate is a single bottle of dark red wine that just kind of looks like it's been recorked, about like half full.
Hmm.
It's just kind of a bottle of wine there. There is an oven here. I don't know if you noticed that this is an oven. Kind of on the south side of that, that is a, kind of like an oven area, like a wood burning stove. And
Like
there is
this
a.
right here.
Are you? I can't see your
Can you see
cursor
me?
unless you're doing the
Oh.
laser pointer.
Oh.
But I'm thinking that yes. I mean, there's three items here. And I'm pretty. Let
This
me see.
guy?
Yes, that is. Yes,
Okay.
that is the wood burning stove, and there is a pot that still kind of has the. It looks like the heat is still in the stove, but it's been dying down, and so the pot's still kind of like doing a little bit of a boil, but it's not as. But I mean, the stove looks like it's been left on and hasn't been tended to in a while, and so the fire has died down. And there also is a chest with that little box with the C on it. Is a chest
Mm,
that um, is kind of just sitting over in the corner there. So where would you like to take a look at first?
okay. Well, I don't want to turn my back on this chest before I know if it's a mimic or not. So,
Okay, I dig it. I dig it. So how are you going to test to see if this is a mimic?
okay, so I'm gonna be backing up. Where's the pot at? Oh, it's on the
It's on the
stove.
stove. Yes.
I'm gonna take the pot. I'm gonna throw it at the chest.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I'm gonna,
So you take the stove off. You take the pot off the stove and just like huck it at the chest. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. The pot did have liquid in it, and so the liquid sprays
Okay.
all
Yeah.
over, all over the chest and kind of like onto the wall there. It's like a dark, thick, kind of almost like molasses type liquid, and it just kind of in large clumps kind of sticks all over the wall and the chest, and nothing happens.
Okay. So I'm gonna make my way over. I'm gonna try to open it.
Okay. So the chest, I mean, is unlocked, and so you kind of lift the kind of the hard, or I guess the large wooden lid off of this chest, and inside is some bread, some cheese, and more bottles of
Oh,
wine.
all right.
But
Oh,
as
interesting.
you're kind of looking around the chest, you realize that in your haste of throwing the pot, the chest, you knock a kind of almost like a little like pad of paper off the stove, and as you kind of take a look at it, it does say It's kind of a recipe written in both Common and Elvish, and so you can read the common bits of it, and it says undead virus slowing salve.
Undead virus slowing salve. Okay, I'm gonna pocket it. I'm
Okay.
gonna take. It's just the recipe. There's nothing like, I don't know, any warning or like any side effects or anything. It's just how to make it. Or like, does it explain like what this undead slowing salve is supposed? Well, I guess it's supposed to slow undead. So
So, I mean, the recipe is written in a mixture of Common and Elvish. The important parts
right.
seeming to be in Elvish, while
Okay.
like the title and like some kind of notes written on the in like in the margins of this kind of recipe card are written in Common, and you can see that it is an undead virus slowing salve. Unless you speak Elvish, you aren't gonna get any other sort of
Yeah.
information the from the note.
Okay. Um. All right. I'll still pocket it, and then I'm going to see. Just seeing what I have on on my person right now.
Mm,
Um. Can I look around? So you said there's not a whole lot. Is
mm,
there like a bottle within the room or is there like a cup? I guess there is the wine goblet. Is there anything? Because with the recipe, well, there's that thing on the wall. I'm going to assume that's what that is. I'm going to try to put some of the molasses stuff
okay.
into a carrying container.
Okay. So when it comes to carrying containers, you're a little limited unless you have something on your person. But on
Yeah.
next to the wine bottle on the table, there is kind of a like a singular wine glass. And you might be able to like scoop some of the molasses liquid into a wine glass, but it's not like a closed container, and you'd be walking around with a wine glass full of molasses.
I'm going to taste it.
You're gonna taste it, really?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. Yeah, can I smell it? What does it smell like?
I mean, yeah, you can smell
Is
it.
it s
So,
I'm trying to
um,
see, is it
describe how you
poisonous
would
to
smell
me?
it. Are you gonna like what? How would you approach smelling this liquid that's been stuck
I
to the wall
smell
after you
all
threw a
over the
pod
yeah.
at a chest?
Well, I'm gonna stand up, of
Yeah.
of course. I'm gonna okay, it's on the wall. Gonna go over there and I'm gonna, like, just smell it on the wall.
Okay. I didn't know if you were gonna like use your fingers or if you're just gonna like straight up like stick your nose to the wall. So
Yeah,
you're
just
gonna stick your nose to the wall, and you kind of it does have a slightly aromatic smell to it. I would describe it maybe as um, a kind of bitter burn of like rubbing alcohol mixed with an earthy smell of like berries that are mixed with dirt, maybe.
okay. Do I recognize the smell at all? Is this something that I, like, growing up or, like, in
Do a
my
medicine
travels
check.
getting here? Okay. Alright, which one should I throw? Let's try this one.
One day you're gonna have to show off your little dice collection to all of our many, many viewers.
I know. It's kind of bare right now, but I'm slowly becoming a dice goblin. That
You're
is
an
a fifth.
aspiring dice goblin.
Yes, I'm aspiring to be one. That is a 15.
15, okay. So you have enough kind of with you being on the boats. Well, you were a sailor, right? I'm trying to think of were you a sailor for like a
Yes, with my
better
father,
part?
yeah.
Okay. So on the boats, you are familiar with just kind of um the medicines that were used by sailors when it came to certain kind of situations that you might run into on the ocean. While this specifically doesn't bring any bells in your mind, it does remind you of similar salves that you've seen. This is not something to be ingested, more as rubbed on the skin to prevent and ultimately it's you don't recognize it, but you recognize its type of medicine. It's some sort of kind of ointment that you would rub on a person to prevent symptoms from occurring, I guess, if I'm being like
Okay.
vague.
Yeah, like a barrier cream or something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay. Um, I'm still trying to find if I have anything to cover this goblet with. Um, oh, I don't want to do that. Okay, I'm going to take the goblet, the the wine goblet, and the utensil and scrape some of it off
Okay.
into the goblet of wine.
So
Well,
goblet of
into
wine.
the goblet.
Yeah,
Um,
I dig
and
it.
then I'm going
Now
to
you have like a
take
nice little fancy goblet of,
yeah.
of acre now. I dig it.
And now I'm going to take my silk rope and
Oh.
kind of just
And make like a little like makeshift top to it.
tie it around. Yeah,
Interesting. Okay.
tie it around.
I dig it. So now you have a I don't know what you'd want to call it. Like you've now kind of Jimmy rigged a vial together. I'll let it kind of I'll let it be a vial now. You have a vial of the what I call it undead slowing sow. Undead virus slowing sow now in your inventory.
Hey, nice. Gonna
Perfect.
add that to it. All right, so hey, I did that. I'm gonna come back to the stove
Okay.
and the wood burning stove, and I'm going to extinguish the fire. I don't want
Oh,
another
okay.
fire happening.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
you've seen enough fires today. So you extinguish the
I'm gonna
fire.
stamp it out. Yeah.
I dig it. Okay. And so the stove, the warm light emanating from the stove now dissipates while the stove is still hot, however, because that's how heat works. And the the fire's gone.
Nice. Okay. All right. Um, yeah, I think I'm done with this room. I'm gonna head to this door over here.
Excellent. So so now you have entered the living room here. You see Toll is absolutely kind of like running in and out of this body's clothes here. Um, it is I mean, there is a bookcase, there is a chair, there's a fireplace, as well as there's a body over here where Toll is. What do you want to check out first?
With Toll just this desecrating this. No, he's just searching.
Hang on, what's Toll doing with the body over there?
All right, I see a body. I see Toll just going in and out of his clothes, searching. I'm gonna run over and I was like, Toll, and I pick him up, um, and see what he's got going on.
Okay. Um, so Toll, as you pick him up, Toll is trying to slip on like another like silver ring onto his arm while he's like licking his lips and everything. There's really nothing. I mean, it looks like the only thing he's able to get is kind of a sort of like a silver ring. But are you looking at Toll or are you looking at the body?
Well, I'm looking at Toll to see what he has, and then I'm looking at the body to see, and then I'm gonna look down and see what's going on
Okay.
with the body.
So you look down at the body, and it is a man, an older man, um, also like a little bit of a beard, kind of balding head. He's wearing kind of a nicer outfit. Looks not necessarily like formal attire, but he's definitely put together as a man of himself. You take a look at the body here, and he's laying kind of on his back, arms and legs kind of stiff next to him, but his eyes are moving around, and he's like tracking and he's like
Oh,
looking at you, and I mean he is it's not a dead body. It is a living body.
gosh, Toll. Toll just put it down looking for things. Okay. I looked, I was like, oh gosh. And like I like would step back
Mhm.
and then I look back down and assuming he's paralyzed, I'm gonna like try to slap his head like his face a little bit.
Okay.
He's like,
Um,
can you hear me?
and you kind of you see it kind of he's struggling and you can kind of like see like there's like muscle like trying to move but like everything is just like so tense that he can't do anything. But you see almost like him kind of doing like a little nod or like even like a nod with his eyes maybe he's trying to like
Yeah.
to to signify to you that he can hear you.
Okay. Um, okay. Blink twice for no, blink once for yes.
Wait, hold
Are you
on. I
paralyzed?
don't remember that. Wait, wait, blink twice for no, blink once for
No.
yes. Okay, all right.
Have you been paralyzed?
He blinks once.
Okay. Um, is there anything in this room that I can do to reverse this paralyzation?
He blinks twice.
Okay. Do you have anything on you that can help you not be paralyzed?
He also blinks twice.
Do you know who paralyzed you?
He blinks once.
Okay. All right. I'm going to run to the bookshelf.
Okay. You head to the bookshelf here, and the book is very neat, is very organized, almost like in a kind of a roughly alphabetical order, from what you can tell, even though the language varies between each book. There is. I'm trying to pull up my notes here. There are a lot of books in this library, all of which pertain to medicine and surgery. Many books have a school of Salutar on the spine of the books. It's kind of like a stamp originating where the books come from. Every book is very neat and organized, but there are two that are resting on the top of the bookshelf.
I'm going to reach up and grab those two.
Okay. There are two books. Um, the title is written in multiple languages. The book itself is written in Elvish, but one of the common titles says "The Undead and Other Deathly Curses," while the other book says "Necromancy: The Study of Unholy Practice."
All right. I'm going to take those two. I'm going to run over to him. I'm going to be like, "Are you Dr. Nicholas?"
He blinks once for the yes. If that's right, I'm trying to. I don't know
Yeah,
why it's
yeah.
tripping me up so much. Okay, he blinks once.
Did you paralyze yourself?
He blinks twice.
Okay. Are you a necromancer?
He blinks twice.
I have these books.
He blinks once. You have the book.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna take out a vial of the my makeshift vial of the undead of virus slowing.
Okay.
I'm gonna show him. I'm like, "Is can this help you?"
He blinks twice.
Okay. Okay. I'm so sorry, and I'm gonna search his pockets. Just put them in, seeing
And
if there's anything.
yeah, and so
Anything
you
that
begin
can
to
help
kind of
me.
pat him down. You're digging your hands in his pockets, and I mean, just like the rest of the house, his pockets are bare. Like he really does not have anything on his person. Um, and if anything, you kind of hear like grunts in protest as you are kind of like going through his pockets. But I mean, other than that, you don't find anything of use.
Okay. Okay, Dr. Nicholas. Well, I was sent here by Gatria Relum to look for the body. Is the body still in the house?
He blinks once.
Okay. Was the person who paralyzed you looking for the body?
He doesn't blink really, and you kind of see like his eyes are searching, and he doesn't provide a response.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back over here.
Back to the bookcase.
The
All right.
bookshelf. Yes. I'm looking for a recipe. So he's paralyzed.
Mhm.
I'm looking for a book that has like maybe a recipe on how to like what is it? The oil of basilisk or something that no, that's petrification.
Yeah,
He's paralyzed?
he's paralyzed.
Okay. I'm gonna see if there's any like thing that can lead me to cooking a potion
Okay,
or
okay.
making a potion of
Roll an investigation check.
okay.
Well, okay, you can roll an investigation check to be looking for clues on the book, on like the book spines, or you could roll a medicine check to potentially use your knowledge of medicine to identify what book might be the best for you. Like investigation for
Okay.
looking for a book that says anti-paralyzation,
Yeah.
or using a medicine check to figure out if you could spot a book that's about medicines and potions.
I'm gonna go for medicines. Let's see. That was a 15.
15. Okay. You begin to kind of run your fingers along the spines of all of these books, The issue is majority of them are in Elvish, and you don't speak
Elvish.
Elvish.
Okay.
And while
Nope.
I mean, and while you could spend the time to take each book, like the spines are in Elvish, and while you're familiar enough with the two books that are on top of the fire on top of the bookshelf that they do have their common like names on there, taking out every single book to read the title in common might take too much time in this situation.
Okay. All right. Well, did you say this was a door down here? Oh, let me get my pointer. But
Yeah,
you see where toll is? Is that a door or is that a fireplace?
that is the fireplace.
That
You can
is a
inspect. I mean,
fireplace.
a fireplace that you can definitely take a look at, but that is a fireplace.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go back and see if there's anything like if someone tried to like burn anything or does it look like it was hot before, used recently?
Yes, so the fireplace does have many logs in it that are burning, now going to ash, just like the stove. It is a fireplace that has not been tended to in quite some time, and so the flames are dying down. And so, while do an investigation check to see if you spot anything that might have been tempted to be burned.
It was a 10, but minus 3, 7.
And 7, okay. You take you're kind of looking through the logs. You don't want to touch anything for obvious reasons, 'cause that's how heat works.
Mhm.
And you don't see any sort of weird or like kind of alien looking ash in the fire. Like you don't see like pages burned or any sort of like anything burned. However, the flames have died down enough that you can actually see in the very back of the fireplace is a sort of like handle almost that's attached to the back of the fireplace.
I'm gonna go over to this body. Well,
Yes.
to Dr. Nicholas.
Yes.
I'm gonna say, there's a handle in the fireplace. Will anything will something bad happen if I pull it?
And you see him kind of like his eyes are working. Um, and he kind of like doesn't know how to respond, and he's kind of looking, and he blinks no, but hesitantly.
Okay. Have you been paralyzed for an hour?
Blinks yes.
More than an hour?
Blinks
Uh,
yes.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna pull it.
Okay, you're gonna pull it. All right.
Yeah, I'm
You
gonna
reach
attempt
your
to pull
hand
it.
through the flames and you kind of pull on the lever. I want you to take 3 points of damage because the metal handle is extremely hot when you
Oh,
touch
I
it,
didn't
and
think
it
that
and it
through.
burns your hand like the moment you touch it. However, you are able to before the heat becomes too much and you recoil your hand, are able to unlock it and kind of swing a door open, and like the kind of a stone kind of little like most like dumbwaiter sized door opens up and allows you to. There's a space behind the fireplace.
Okay. Before going through, I'm gonna I'm gonna drink a potion of healing.
Excellent, excellent.
Right. 2d4s. Where are you at?
Grab the dice. I want to live vicariously through you. Oh shoot! Oh shoot! I dig
Best
it.
way to show this off. Let's see. So here's the first one,
Oh, I dig it. That looks nice. Oh,
and this one.
that was cool. I like that one. That kind of like that
Okay.
all white set that you showed me that one time looked really really cool.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
jealous of that. If only I were a dice goblin.
5, 6, 7. Okay, I heal for 7.
Heck yeah. You take a little swig of your healing potion, and the second degree kind of blisters on your hand begin to kind of bubble and fade away, and return to the natural flesh on your hands.
Okay, so that brings me back to full health.
Excellent.
Okay. All right, and so okay, I'm like, Toll, come with me. And he's gonna come with me.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you're
and we're
gonna
gonna go
crawl
through.
over this flames
Oh,
that's kind of in
there's
the
flames
fireplace.
still.
They're
Oh,
they're
thank
dying
you.
flames, so at least the log is kind of like burning coal. or I'm trying to think of what ember. What is it when I don't know why that word is escaping me. But they're hot. The logs are hot. They're glowing red.
Yeah, yeah. I try to stamp it out.
Perfect.
This with my boot.
You
I know it's
should just
I
start
know it'll
stamping
still
in
be
there and
hot, but
yeah, no,
maybe
I get
yeah.
you. But I mean, overall, the fire is put out. Um, while the floor might still be a little hot, it's definitely enough for you to traverse through.
Okay. And then we're gonna go through.
Excellent. All right. In that case, then the room reveals to be just a little kind of like crawl space slash area, and there's a chest in the back.
Okay. I'm afraid that it's
I didn't realize you're so much of of a paranoid player. I think, okay, I mean, would it make you feel better if I said for this instance there are no mimics in the house?
all right. I was about to check my check, well, just so you know, a sickle at it. But yes, I will
Oh,
go through
perfect. Okay.
and attempt to open it.
Perfect. Okay, I wrote the hidden room's walls are blackened with soot and smoke, and the area is relatively large for a hidden room. However, there is nothing inside but a singular chest. And as you approach the chest, you do see that there is a lock on this chest, and it cannot be opened just by, I mean, using
By
your hands,
opening.
I guess. Yeah.
Okay. I am going, let me think here. I'm going to try to break the lock.
So
How
how
you
do
may,
you? I was gonna
yeah,
say,
how
how do you
you
plan it?
may. I'm going to do maybe frostbite. I'm gonna try frostbite first. So
Ooh, I like
I'm
this
gonna
idea.
I'm gonna hold on to the lock and just try to freeze it. Hopefully
Okay.
make it weak and then I can hit it.
Let me take a look at
Or
your
it'll
character.
crack.
I need to look at Frostbite real quick. Um, hey,
I don't know if
computer's loading.
if a lock can make a constitution saving throw, but
I don't know. Hold on one second. Can inanimate. How do you spell?
it is cold damage, in case that matters.
Okay. I'm typing into Google, can inanimate objects. The first thing is feel wind chill. Interesting.
Oh,
I'm kind of curious now. Can inanimate objects eat devil fruit? I think that has to do with some sort of phantom I'm not aware of. Make
double for
constitution. That's like One Piece, isn't it? Isn't One Piece the devil fruit? I don't know. Make
oh,
constitution
don't
check.
ask me.
Do objects, vehicles make constitution? Let's head to Reddit. Forge Master 183260 asks, can inanimate objects can
That
objects
out.
slash vehicles make constitution saving throws? Um, okay, makes sense. We're not gonna have it make it do a constitution check. Instead, it has a certain health to it. So I want you to roll
Okay.
damage.
Okay. So am I to assume that it automatically fails
Yes, it automatically
because
fails.
I'm using it? Okay. It takes 1d6 and has disadvantage. But we're not. He's not gonna attack me, hopefully, so it doesn't matter.
I said no chests were mimics. I didn't say no locks were mimics.
Oh yeah, that's true. Oh, that'd be yeah, something.
And I hope you know me well enough that I wouldn't stick with it, the boring chest mimic. It'd be something interesting.
It would be something. Yeah, it would be freaking fire from the logs that I stamped out. Okay.
That's interesting. Flaming log mimics. Huh.
So,
I'll write that
okay,
down.
this is me being an in like an unknowledge. I'm not very knowledgeable. So with the spells on my D&D playmat,
Hmm.
you know, it says modifier +3, spell attack +5. My save DC is a 13. I know that's my like if they hit me. But for the spell attack +5, what does that mean? Do I add that
Where
to the number that I just got? Or is that just for,
where are
because
you
it is
seeing
a
that?
cantrip.
Frostbite.
So if
Seeing. you looking
gonna
at
share.
a D&D Beyond?
Yeah, D&D Beyond. Um, and then it has my, my person
Yeah.
and all my stats. And then when you go over to where the actions tab is with all of your, and then you go to spells where I get my cantrip, frostbite. And then on the
Yeah.
top of that, where it says manage spells, right above that bar, it says
Oh,
modifier
modifier,
spell
spell
attack.
attack,
Yeah.
save DC. So there are some. Okay, in that case, then this will reveal how much I know about what I'm talking about here. But there are some spells that won't have a specific save DC. Like if you look at Frostbite, Frostbite says they have to make a
Mhm.
Constitution check over, um, what
13.
was this? Over 13, which
Mhm.
actually I'm sure that 13 is your save DC. And so whenever your spell is requiring the other person to make a some sort of check or to beat your DC, your
Mhm.
spell DC is 13. And so for the
Oh,
most part,
okay.
unless the spell specifies differently, a person
Mhm.
will have to beat a 13 because that's how powerful of a spell caster you are. Um, the spell attack, whenever you're casting, whenever you have to roll to attack, you roll the d20 and you plus that plus 5. Um,
Oh, okay.
and then
Okay.
the modifier, I believe that's your, trying to remember which. I believe warlocks are charisma based
Right.
spellcasters, and your charisma modifier is a +3. But I
Okay.
don't remember where the modifier comes into effect. I don't know if
That's
it's like
just
a.
okay. That is something
Um,
I will be needing
I
to
don't
take a look
remember.
at. Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah,
regardless,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I was trying to see if I could add the +5 to this because I only got a 2 for my frostbite. So we're gonna chip away. So I got a
Okay.
2.
So since there's not really any danger, or like if we were like taking like if we were in combat and each turn took 5 seconds, I won't necessarily have you just roll enough damage to take out the lock, but you sit there and you hold the lock between your hands, and your hands begin to get a little icy, and the metal kind of frost over, and kind of crystals like begin to kind of form around it and everything. And since you rolled a 2 on the very first one, we'll say it takes a while for you to kind of just say you're holding it, and you can feel the
We're
metal
just
kind
chilling.
of you can feel the metal kind of warping a little bit underneath your hands, and it gets to a point where it feels like the inner components of the lock and the lock itself are more fragile at this point.
I'm like, man, my patron must really hate me. Okay. All right. And then, all right. So that's done. I'm just gonna take my scimitar and slash it,
Just
slash the lock.
slash the
Yeah.
lock. Okay. You smack the lock, and it kind of trumples apart. There was definitely some like smaller inner components to the lock that broke, or kind of cracked underneath the pressure, and so the lock falls apart once you hit it with the scimitar, and the chest is now open.
I'm gonna open it.
Excellent.
Well, dive into its treasures.
So when you open it, it's more of like a file folder rather than like a traditional chest with gold in it. It's aligned in different kind of binders, and there's like different booklets and folders inside, all with kind of dates and times. And as you're taking a look, I take it that you wouldn't just take that as an answer. You're going to take a deeper look into it. You begin to open up some of these binders and notebooks, and they're just ledgers and ledgers of bodies, of like names, of like autopsies that he's done, both in a professional setting and out of a professional setting. It's almost like all of the medical records that he's touched, and you can tell
Hmm.
that while you found Dr. Nicholas Jekka in an alleyway, practically in a small apartment building, and supposedly there's a body on the table he's autopsying. At one point, he was actually in a legitimate facility. And actually, some of these documents that you're seeing are stamped with the School of Salutar's official stamp. Um,
Hmm.
and there's just kind of booklets of different medical procedures that he performed, notes during those procedures. It seems like a lot of them revolve around surgery. And towards the end of kind of the date range of all these paperworks, you find more and more of like surgeries or things that happened in this house rather than being in a professional setting.
Interesting.
As
Okay. And
well,
he's
and let me add, as you're panning through some of the folders, a photo. a paper slips out of like the binder that you're holding, and it is a crude drawing of an older man and a younger tiefling boy, holding hands in the way like an old stick figure drawing
Mm.
would do, and it says "You are the best" written in comment on the top.
Is in this photo, is it of Dr. Nicholas or is it a different person?
It is. It is a Dr. Nicholas, or from what you can tell from a small child's drawing.
Okay. Oh, it's a drawing, not a photo. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, no,
Okay.
it is a drawing.
Okay. Um, and while I'm looking through these files, so it's just autopsies, or is it, can I assume when you say surgeries, are these surgeries on living people, like to help, or are they just surgeries like autopsy
At the
surgeries to
start of the date range, they are procedures and surgeries on living people, but as the time goes on, more autopsies creep into his files, and so it
Oh,
becomes
okay.
all autopsies, and then it's all autopsies at home,
Okay.
with a few
And
surgeries at home, but most of it's autopsies.
am I seeing any like relationship with these? Like, are they like the dates within the autopsies? Are they all pretty like, what am I trying to say? Like, are they all within the same amount of time frame, or is it like years in between them, or is he doing them pretty frequently?
The entire the entire collection is pretty frequent, so it's almost like um, wherever he was in the school of Celiotar, which is the school that's on the island of
Mhm.
Sulikala Perun. Um, it looks like he was doing it on a regular basis, like he was a doctor, like kind of taking care of a number of patients at a time. And really, the frequency doesn't stop until it kind of looks like he switches departments from surgeries into more of a coroner aspect, deals with
Okay.
more dead bodies, and there really isn't any. There's maybe a gap between the last autopsy he does in School of Cellutar to the very first autopsy he does at home before the documents
Okay.
don't look as professional anymore. There is maybe like a 6 month gap.
Hmm. Okay. And then when and they're only so they're only done on this island. It's not like he's gone to other islands. Okay. When was I'm gonna look at the latest
The latest
to
one.
see, yeah, to see if it's the guy I'm looking for.
Okay. The latest one listed there is a individual by the name of um, Leber, who pretty much it says that like the autopsy report pretty much just mentions stuff like a crushed right leg, internal bleeding, and ultimately kind of it gives like a time of death as well as how the body was hidden, almost like kind of like it's like a either like this one says in quotations lost at sea, and with no further notes identifying what's going on.
So, okay. So reading this, am I to assume that these are done illegally? Like he's trying to hide the
I mean,
bodies
I
after
can't
he
really
does an
tell you.
autopsy report?
I can't really tell you
Like,
what
does
to
it seem
think in this situation.
sneaky?
But I mean, they are in a locked
Like he's
quest.
hiding the bodies.
They they are. I can't say anything to that aspect, but what I can remind you is that these ledgers are in a locked chest behind a secret door in his fireplace in a back alley makeshift coroner's office that you were told to go to by a dude who runs a brothel who is secretly running the underground market, who is friends with the viceroy, who are trying to both hide a murder. And so I can't speak on the aspect of whether or not what he's doing is legitimate, but I can mention that there are a lot of moving parts in this situation.
So, well, I guess when you said, well, when the ledger says on like lost at sea, is like it shows that he's like hiding the bodies after he does this autopsy report? Or that's just
Yes,
like
I'd say
okay.
yes.
Okay. I'm gonna flip through. Are there any names that sounds familiar to me?
Roll an investigation
Like,
check.
okay. Yeah, specifically, I'm like, my main worry is that so he took my father's body and like did
Oh,
something. I don't know.
okay, okay.
But
No, yeah, roll an investigation check because there's a lot of records you can skim through them to see if you recognize anyone off the fly.
10.
10. You begin to kind of quickly skim through all the books, and Toll is sitting here absolutely disappointed that there is a chest with nothing good in it. Uh, um,
That's fair.
and you don't recognize any sort of name that rings a bell.
Okay. Well, I guess so. I could read these. So they're in common.
Yes, I'd say most of them are in common.
Okay. All right. I'm
Most, if
going
not
to.
all, are in common.
Are they hefty? Is
It's
that
a
a whole
relatively
lot?
large chest. You could drag the whole chest out there. And so
What
it's
about
not like
just
too heavy, but
what about just the papers? Can I
you could
take
grab
them out?
yeah, if you could grab like
Okay.
a handful of binders and things.
Okay, I'm gonna take the binders and I'm gonna take the photo that I'm assuming my mind goes this tiefling boy made, and I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And we're gonna leave.
All right, you leave,
We're gonna go out
and you're
here.
back in the living room.
Okay, I'm gonna stand over the body.
Yeah.
I'm like show him the binders that I saw. I'm gonna place him down, and I'm gonna be like, "Are you still paralyzed?"
Wings, yes.
Okay. Like, are all of these reports? Did you hide every body that you did?
He blinked no.
Okay. Was your license revoked as a surgeon and you started doing things on the down low?
He blinks no.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I'm gonna leave those there. And I'm gonna go searching for this body.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Oh, and while I'm going, I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna look over him. I'm like,
Mhm.
you seem like you get around. Do
Damn.
you do you know? Have you ever heard of magical stakes that could potentially release a trapped dragon?
I love how you just drop this on like almost everyone you meet. It's like such like a niche like subject that you like just in case. Like, do you know anything about this? Um, you can tell that his eyes like visibly like confused, and he kind of looks at you and he blinks no.
That wasn't very helpful. Okay, so I'm gonna double back. I'm gonna enter this room. I'm gonna have Toll with me.
Yes.
Toll, come on. Oh shoot. I don't know if you can, if someone viewing this can see, or if like it's just me, or if you could see it. But when I like, just when if it goes out of when it zooms out real bad. Okay, now come on. There it goes. Okay. All right. So double back into the kitchen, and we're gonna go through this door.
Excellent. Perfect. In that case, then, 1 second. Meow. Remove the fog of war. Okay, so you walk into this room, and you initially open the door, and you're met with like kind of like a white kind of sheet almost that you have to kind of then go through after you open the door. And inside is a very clinical, very sterile environment. There is, of course, a table here, and I know you know what's already on the table, as well as two chests that are in the room. You walk in, and there is a body like laying on the table here. Let me pull up. Okay. All right. So there is a body on the table here that is covered in scratch marks, bite marks, and other kind of just and like parts of his skin are slowly turning greenish. Like there's like there's like a greenness, grayness to some of the wounds that he has over his body. There's scratches. His clothes are torn. There's certain scratches on his like his neck and his arms, and
Mm.
there's blood on his clothes and everything. And there is a note, kind of a like almost like a clipboard next to the body. Um, that is that has scribbling on it.
Okay. I'm gonna run back out.
Oh damn! You like bucket in, you're like hello, and then you're gone.
I'm going to take the pot And I'm going to hope that there's still a little bit of the undead virus slowing salve in it. I'm gonna come back in.
There's a little bit, yeah. There's a you could kind of scrape a little bit off of the sides.
Okay. And then while I have that in my hand, I'm gonna read the clipboard to see what it says.
Okay. So let's see here. The clipboard says, the clipboard says the body is covered in scratches and bite marks, all of which resemble human attackers, potentially multiple human attackers. Next bullet point says parts of the body are decaying at a rapid pace. Another bullet point says foreign bodily fluid is found on the bodies synonymous with rotting human flesh. And then there's kind of a on the side, a kind of like scribble in the margin. It says inspect later. One of the bite marks is familiar to me, but the fact that it is a specific bite mark and exists on the body is impossible.
Hmm. I'm going to take the salve and the part that's like the greenish or kind of the most undead looking foreign thing on the body, and I'm gonna try to pour it on it and see if there's any reaction to it.
Okay. You begin to kind of scoop a little bit of the ooze out and kind of put it back onto the body here. And as it kind of touches the greenish gray marks, you do see kind of a visible color change that like reverts slowly to the pink flesh of the body before, and it seems to be reversing some sort of um, change that is happening.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna Toll's already at one chest. You can't open it. A little dummy.
He's
I'm
scratching a whole lot.
He's scratching a whole lot, and I say that with love. I'm gonna try to go over and help him open it.
Yes, so you open up that chest, it is unlocked. As you open it up, there is a scalpel, lots of gauze, a couple of medical tools, and a kind of a crate full of bandages inside.
Okay,
And in the
I'm
other
gonna open.
chest, there is two potions of healing, one potion of greater healing, four bottles of rubbing alcohol, and three other bottles that are unnamed or like unlabeled.
Okay, with the bottles that are unnamed, does it resemble the undead virus slowing salve?
It does not. None of the
Okay,
three bottles have that type of lip to it.
okay. The two bottles of healing, one bottle of greater healing.
And four
I'm going
bottles to
to
the equivalent of high fantasy rubbing alcohol.
and rub it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to grab the the two. I'm gonna grab the two bottles of healing, the one bottle of greater healing, and then how many bottles did you say were unmarked?
Three, all
3.
ranging from different colors. One's
Okay, I'm gonna grab
like a
the
green, one's a teal, and I'd say one's probably blue.
okay, I'm gonna grab the 3 unnamed ones in my pocket.
Hmm.
Um, okay. Trying to think. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna open one. I'm
Okay,
gonna open the blue one.
perfect.
I'm
And what
gonna
are you looking
smell
for?
it.
You're gonna smell it.
Yeah.
And you're looking to identify it by smelling, or you just want to know what it smells like?
Yeah, let me just know what it smells like. Is it fruity? Is it
I'm so glad that you were just so interested in the world that you just want to like just smell the roses, really. This is a kind of a it's just now I have to make up on the spot what they smell like. It's an acidic kind of citrusy smell to it.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
with like a kind of an extremely sweet sensation to it. And so it doesn't taste, it doesn't smell. Initially, you're like, oh, it kind of smells good, but then like as it kind of persists, you're like, it'd be a sucker to drink though. Like it doesn't really taste like it doesn't really smell like it tastes that good. But the
Okay.
smell is initially interesting, a little bit good, but nothing you really would want to mess with.
Does it shimmer?
No, not really. It doesn't really shimmer. It's more
Okay.
watery.
I'm gonna pour a small drop onto the body.
Okay. Um, Nothing happens.
All right. I'm gonna
And I guess
I'm
I want to clarify a little bit. What are your intentions with? Are you trying to like revive the body at all? Are you trying to just, or are you just like
no,
science
I'm
experiment? You're
trying to
just, I want to see what's up.
yeah. I'm trying to see what these potions are.
Okay,
So
okay.
I'm seeing if it has a reaction. Like, is it Like, is it deteriorating the body? Is it like acid and it's eating away things?
I dig it. Okay,
Stuff like that.
perfect.
But
The
nothing
blue one
happened.
doesn't really
Okay.
seem to do anything.
Okay. I'm gonna cork it. I'm gonna take the other ones and okay, the bite marks. He know he said it's impossible. Can I see? Does it look human? Can I see? Can I notice if it looks human at all?
When you take a look at the body, all of the bite marks seem regular. They seem familiar, and they're like, okay, they're all humanoid human bite marks, except for one of the bite marks. The top part of the jaw has that familiar curve to it. The bottom one has almost like it begins to have a familiar curve, but then it's misshapen almost to like a strange kind of bend or like birth defect
Hmm.
in the bottom jaw. And it looks obvious. It looks very obviously different from the rest of them. Still
Okay.
humanoid in nature, but like it's not a regular bite. It's a unique bite.
Okay. Um. All right. And ghouls are humanoid,
Ghouls
correct?
are humanoid,
So I,
yes.
so I can't necessarily say like if it looks familiar from the body, like because the ghoul like attacked the. I'm trying to think of the what
You
the
think about like the
marks might have
past
looked
ghoul?
like. Yeah, that we
Okay.
saw and who attacked the guard, and he was just ravishing the guard. So like, can it? I'm trying to see if I could distinguish like, oh, that was similar to what the ghoul like did. Like,
If you
does the
wanted
body resemble a ghoul attack?
it definitely looks like wow, you remember the thoughts of you remember the haunting visuals of the ghoul. The ghoul was very aggressive in nature and left and even though it was only one ghoul, it left the body in how do I say this nicely? A less organized state than the body that you're
In this
seeing
one.
on the table now. And this
Okay.
one, the notes report that there could be multiple attackers. And so,
Okay.
I guess to simplify things,
Yeah.
because I have a habit of oversimplifying, of overcomplicating, the ghoul threaded these bit.
Hmm. Okay. All right. Um. Okay. So with that being said, I'm gonna run out the door.
Excellent.
Or I'm walking out the door.
Okay.
Um. I'm gonna assume Toll's gonna follow me. I think he would.
Perfect.
And then we're gonna go back through this door. And we're going to. I'm gonna walk down this hallway because I didn't walk down it. Toll did.
Hmm.
I'm gonna open this door that I
Oh,
see.
dang! You guys, I thought you'd forget about that room. Hold on one second. One second. Oh shoot, my computer's lagging. One second. I'm working on it. Oh, wrong button. Okay. You enter this room. Perfect. Okay. You enter this room, and it is a bedroom of sorts, in the loosest of terms, because the only thing that is in here is one bed and one chest. This room, just like the rest of the house, just like Dr. Jekyll himself, is sterile, does not have many things in it, and is strictly for utility. And so there is
Okay.
a bed and a chest in this room.
I'm gonna see. Can I look around see if there's any hidden compartments? See if because I'm assuming yeah this is a bedroom. Guess maybe I'm thinking oh maybe he has a diary. Maybe he
Oh,
hides
you're looking for a
things.
little diary,
So
yeah. Do
yeah.
an investigation check.
Oh, I really should have Toll do this. Okay,
Does he
let's
have a
see.
better investigation?
He does. He's just let's see. All right, that's a 2 minus 3 negative 1. That even.
Uh, we just roll a -1 on your investigation. You look around and you find a bed and a chest. Just kidding. You take a look around, but
Yeah.
and as you're looking around, Toll, of course, is looking for something. He knows he can't open the chest. He dashes underneath the bed, and you see him pull out, kind of pushing with his little snub nose, um, a letter that's underneath the bed.
Okay. I'm gonna try to take it from him.
Okay. As you take the letter from him, and he kind of gives a little bit of a
Little huff.
playful tug of war. It is a letter, and as you open it up, it says, "Nicholas, I hope you don't mind that I took the opportunity to let myself into your house while you were out. I'll be frank with you. There's a body in your lap. You'll recognize this body, and you'll also recognize the gravity of keeping this quiet, especially from the enforcers. My employer and good friend asks that you perform an autopsy and provide us with a cause of death that will not alert the public and cause mass panic. Do what you must. Signed, GR."
Okay. I'm gonna assume that's Gatriar. Okay, so I'm gonna open the chest.
Okay. In the chest, you will find once you open the chest, Cole darts in, like dashes in because he's waiting for it, and you see him kind of jump in and immediately roll and kind of tangle himself up into this into a golden necklace that was just kind of sitting there. No idea how he identified it was a golden necklace so fast. No idea how he put it on so quickly, but it is a golden necklace that
And
he
it's
has
now
wrapped
his.
himself into. Yes, and as he's kind of like rolling around like a puppy would, you do see that there is on this golden chain, there is an anatomically correct heart golden little emblem, and it says, "I love you, horns and all."
Oh, okay.
Along with the necklace, there is a coin purse with 10 silver pieces that you find Toll is already trying to push himself
Yet.
into, and a dagger.
Okay, so I'm gonna grab him by his tail. I'm gonna try to separate him
Maybe
from the
at
golden
this point, I'm
rod.
just going to describe the loot as Toll is like as if Toll is already
Stole.
digging into it.
Yes.
So you go into a place and Toll is now wearing a golden necklace and his head is buried in a coin purse.
That would, yeah. Okay, take him. I was like, you can't take everything. You you got the bracelet. This is mine. So I'm gonna take the
Okay.
gold, and I'm gonna examine the dagger. Is it just a normal dagger?
It's just a
Is there
regular
any
dagger.
inscription? Okay, I'm
No.
gonna pocket that. Um, okay, and we're gonna head out.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm not. Tolkien struggle with himself with his amass of things to slowly make his way back.
At one point, he's just gonna be a snowball of like jewelry and ornaments. He'll just be waddling around as like a little.
Yeah.
It'll be like almost like a little. Uh, why do words escape me so? What's the freaking animal that rolls up into a ball? I don't know why I
Oh,
can't
like a
think of it. Armadillo. There it is.
armadillos? Yeah.
Armadillo. He's gonna be like an armadillo at one point. He's
Yeah,
too
he's
busy
like
waddling out.
he's stumbling, yeah.
I dig it.
All
Okay.
right. So I'm gonna go back to Dr. Nicholas.
Yes.
Like, hi, Dr. Nicholas. I'm gonna pull out the three potions.
Hmm.
I'm gonna show him the blue one. Is this one gonna hurt you?
He doesn't know. He blinks no,
Okay. I'm gonna uncork it and pour a little bit on him.
and it splashes onto him, and he it just kind of like runs off of his mouth a little bit. You do see that some goes into his mouth, and he looks at you, and if he could look at you a little angrily, yeah, he would. However, he can do that with a paralyzed face, and nothing really seems to happen too much.
I'm sorry if I'm trying to help you. Okay, I'm gonna pull out the other ones. Are either of these going to unparalyze you?
He blinks yes.
Okay. I hold the one in my right hand. Will this one unparalyze you?
You're holding a green bottle. He blinks yes.
Right. Put the other one in. Okay. I'm gonna unparalyze you, but you need to promise that
You're not gonna hurt
you're
me.
not gonna hurt me.
I broke into your house and I looked through all of your stuff, but if I unparalyze you, can't be mad.
Yeah. Can't be mad. I think we have the same mission here. Oh, you
Yeah.
know what?
Oh no.
I'm so sorry. I think I'm
You're
gonna have
thinking
to
of
tie you up.
dang. Wait, but your silk rope is being used to
It is being, you're
it's
right.
being used.
Okay. All right. You just have to believe me when I say I can hurt you, okay? So if you hurt me, I gotta hurt you.
I'm gonna unparalyze you, but you can't be mad, and if you punch, I'm gonna punch harder.
Yes. And I'm sorry, my little dragon took your stuff and he won't give it back. So just know it's his. It's his, okay?
And you see
So
his
I'm
eyes
gonna
kind of go wild, and they start looking around like he's trying to see where the dragon is.
gonna
Okay.
uncork it and pour it on him.
All right. And you see at first the muscles kind of begin to relax. And as kind of time goes, it's a kind of a quick transformation of little fingers moving at first, and then it's the wrists, and he starts kind of moving his lips, and some of his like his cheekbones begin to kind of move a little bit. And eventually he can bend at the elbow, and he begins to kind of just right himself, and he's massaging sore muscles until finally he is able to sit up, and he kind of is like rubbing his face, rubbing his body, and he's like, "Thought that never ended."
Yeah, well, I'm glad it did. Um, so quick question.
And he
We
kind of
both know you.
he's rubbing his throat and goes, "Yes, House Invader."
Yes. Well, okay. Well, I was the second one. You obviously had a first one. The door was open. Um, so we both know we're here. You know, we both know Gatriar. We both know there's a body in your room.
He nods.
That mark, I went ahead and let my and read your notes. And I noticed, you seem to have this little boy that you obviously deeply care for. Did not see him anywhere around here. That mark, could that little boy have done that to the man on the table?
Wait, are you asking if the tiefling boy made the
Yeah.
mark?
Mhm.
Um, and he looks offended once you ask this question. He goes, "Absolutely none. There's no m- my son would not. My son is not around to make a bite like that. And even if you were to, he kind of he gets a little flustered, and he's, I'm offended that you even make that assumption." And then he
Okay,
calms
well,
down and
we
goes,
don't have time
"But
to
then
be
again."
offended.
You don't know what's going on in the situation. It's not fair that I'm offended, but no, my son had nothing to do with this.
Okay, I ask because you said you were rather familiar with the mark, but the mark needs to be impossible. So who do you think did it? You're obviously familiar with it.
I I am familiar with the bite mark. Um, as when I was a professor in the School of Cellutar, one of my jobs was preparing cadavers for our medical students or some of our rejuvenation magic. One of the cadavers I took a look at and also performed an autopsy for was a man with a deformed lower jaw. This bite mark matches the deformed lower jaw, but that cadaver I did close to 20 years ago.
Okay. And I I don't want to assume, but I'm going to.
Good.
Um, do you think a necromancer did this? I saw some books on your bookshelf about necromancing magic, or necromantic,
I don't know. I feel like
regardless.
necromantic sounds
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. And you said you're not a necromancer. Do you think so, are you looking into a potential necromancer doing this?
I began research into I'm keeping that, necromantic magic. Uh, or was it just like necrotic magic? No clue. Necromantic magic, until I was rudely interrupted by a revenant who had broken through my door. I don't know who is behind this, but the fact that there is a sort I the bite marks on the body are humanoid, and there is an accelerated decaying of the flesh. I would like to believe that that is the work of zombies. I also find it convenient that the moment I begin to look into necromancy, there is a revenant that breaks in and, of course, paralyzes me in my own home. I do not know the extent of what may have caused this death. Neither can I necessarily equate the cause of death to a necromancer, but there are things that are not adding up or adding up in a way I don't like.
Do you think the revenant was looking for the body? Do you think he knew there was a body here, or do you think that's not, that has no connection to that?
Revenants are vengeful spirits. It was definitely someone looking for me. But who
Okay.
created the revenant is another question.
Well, with all of the okay, I would assume the way that you're living your life, where you're at, who you're working with, and the many files that I've looked through, I wouldn't be surprised if you had many enemies. You had a 6-month period where you did nothing. Um, why was that?
And you see him kind of his temper flares again, and he kind of stands up off the floor and goes, "You come into my home and you ask what I'm doing when you ransacked you ransacked my area and you're interrogating me on what I was doing with my life. Talk to Gatria. Gatria has plenty of enemies. I'm sure someone's hunting him as we speak."
And there is someone hunting him. You both are being hunted currently. And, and you're right. I really do have no right doing this. I'm here for a completely different purpose. But yeah, I have nothing to hide. I'm an open book. And yet here, hell, I told you I'm looking for stakes for a dragon. And
He
yet,
kind of looks and goes, this is a subject we probably should return to at one point." But continue.
and yet you live a very sterile life devoid of happiness. So yes, I'm sorry if I'm interrogating you, but it seems like we have bigger issues to deal with than our own pride.
And he walks over to the chair and he kind of sits down, and you see his face kind of just almost like melt a little bit as he r- removes this kind of hard exterior and an angry persona to reveal a more tender inside. And he kind of sits there and goes, "I did stop performing surgeries, or I removed. I had a 6-month period where I did not do much. I used to work at the School of Cellutar as a first as a surgeon, then as a professor, and then eventually as a coroner, preparing cadavers or just working for the enforcement as well for coroner's sake. I returned home one day to find that my house had been broken into, and in the invasion, my wife and child had been murdered. I believe that they were targeted because they were tieflings, and I was disappointed. I was heartbroken to see that I could not protect them. I pulled out of my work. I didn't have the heart for it anymore. I left the School of Cellutar and I sat here. Um, that fireplace is where I burned most of my furniture out of anger, out of sadness, out of heartbreak. I just couldn't necessarily bear to exist, and the only way I could find peace was just to sit here and skulk and to uh, grieve, I guess. But eventually, I realized that even though I had amassed a decent amount of wealth working for the school, I was running out. I didn't have the heart to put an end to myself, and so I figured I might as well do something with my life, and I began to be a sort of backstreet um, m- healer, some sort of doctor who could operate without outside the law. And I performed surgeries here and there. I performed healings, and eventually I just fell into a sort of a coroner aspect. I work with. This isn't the first time Gatrar has knocked on my door, and it will not be the last. But I'm not proud of what I'm doing now, but it's paying the bills, and I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. So you're right. I may have many enemies, and there could be plenty searching for me, but I don't believe this. I guess I don't really know what to think about it. And at this point, you hear a knock on the door, kind of a makeshift like knock on the door, and you hear two kind of voices that are outside, like, is this where you get it, Liz? And one of them kind of goes, "Is anyone there? This is the Sign Del Guard. Open up."
Turn I turned to Dr. Nicholas. I'm like, "Have you let him in?"
And he goes, "I have a body on the laboratory. If they search the house, they're gonna find some things, especially since all my files have been strewn across my living room."
You're right. Okay, here's what we'll do. You go talk to them, and I'll clean this place up. and try to make it look cleaner than what it is right now.
Really what it is right now, even though it was sterile just a moment ago. And he
Yeah.
kind of looks at you, "Ugh, you really think that the guard is just going to leave me alone?
Well,
The guard shouldn't
why
even
do you
know where
think
I'm
they're
at. I have no clue how they even found me here.
well, why do you think they're here? This is your
I,
residency.
they, no one should know where I'm at except for Datriarch. I haven't disclosed my location to anyone else.
Okay, fine. Do you want me to talk to him?
No, I mean, and kind of, I'll
Okay,
speak to
I'll go
them.
talk to him. I'll go talk to him.
You'll go
You
talk to him.
clean your stuff up. Yeah. Okay, toll in my pocket.
Okay, and so then we come over here. One second, I gotta adjust things. Okay, so outside of the house, just clean a little area. Two guards that are sitting there. And as you approach the door, one of the guards, I mean, the door is shattered, and one of the guards can see through and goes, you there, do you live here?
Yeah, I was just here for a moment. I'm new to town. And yeah, I've been residing here I'm just here in passing.
Hmm.
I Yeah, this is a lovely time of year. Love to see the ocean. So I'm just here on vacation. Found this rather nice D Airbnb within the
An
D&D.
Air D&D.
Yeah. And decided to stay here.
And
Sorry,
what
what
the
can what can I
the
what can
guards
I
get
do for you?
suspicious, and they're looking between each other, and well, we received a letter, a sort of tip that there was nefarious business happening here.
Oh, nefarious business. Well, I do tend to go out, this is kind of like, you know, my little spring break. So, nefarious, I don't know about that, but I have been doing, drinking a little bit. There's been some people coming by, but all in good fun.
And he kind of and the second guard approaches and kind of like messes with the door a little bit, and it falls off its second hinge and kind of like kind of like wedges weird in the hallway. He goes, and your friends have done this?
It was quite a rager, I must say. We had El Pippin all the way from
Mhm. Then you
oh,
continue.
all the way from the other island come over. I mean, it was pretty hysterical.
Roll a deception check.
All right. Okay, let me try this one.
It better be a good one, because
I
you're looking at
know.
jail time, or at least some suspicious guards.
Oh, Tasha would no, well, it's not Tasha. What's her face would never let me leave. Talk. Let's see. I have a 17.
17. Okay. And so the guards kind of look at you, and they look kind of between each other, and they're still suspicious, but one of the guards goes, "Well, I mean, we did receive noise complaints as well. Perhaps she's telling the truth." And the guard's like, "Yeah, but just the note said check here. It just I don't know. Maybe someone's playing a prank on us. I
Yeah,
don't
it
know."
could be. I mean, do I? Is there a name you're looking for? It could be my Airbnb D&D host.
And he kind of like, no,
Airbnb.
the note was anonymous. Didn't have any really. Just said like, check out this house. You'll see why type business. And I guess maybe it was just a noise complaint. Maybe someone was unhappy with the amount of transients sticking around here. So I guess I guess you're good to go. And we'll keep the noise down and try not to go
Oh,
too crazy.
yeah, don't worry. Kel Pippin is not coming back here for a while, so but thank you, guards. Thank you for doing your job.
And
Love
they
to
kind
see
of
it.
they nod and they kind of a little just like curious, uncomfortable, don't really know what to do at this point, and they just disappear down the road. they're
Well,
and they're gone.
that was cool. How did you move both of them at the same time?
I'm pretty cool. It's called select this one, press shift, and I select the other one, and then I can move both of them.
Okay.
Oh, I guess
Left
I mean
this
I
one.
guess you are a
Left.
person that's moving two at a time. So yeah, you could do. So if you click on one of them. So it has a little like red outline, and then
Uh,
you press shift and then click on the other one. That should allow you to move both.
okay. Oh, come here. I'll work on it.
Yeah,
We'll see. Okay.
we'll see. We'll see.
All
Oh
right.
yeah,
So
no,
they
I got it.
left. Okay. I'm gonna go back to see if I can see how Dr. Nicholas Pippin, or sorry, Nicholas Chica is.
I don't know. Did you make a? Have you made a hip hop artist or something? Like, yeah,
Yeah, he's the next big rapper in Faerun. He's like
I'll
has
dig it. Okay,
yeah.
okay. I'll have to remember that. Okay, so you head back in the room, and Nicholas is looking at his bookshelf and is currently kind of reading through that necromancy book and kind of panning through the pages. He goes, I don't. You sounds like you got the guards taken care of.
I did, and then were you able to get rid of the body?
I mean, it'll take me some time. I can't necessarily. I don't have anywhere I can stash it here, but I'll have to take it
Well,
somewhere
it
else. But
was a
um,
good thing I got rid of the guards.
it is a very good thing, and I guess I'm indebted to you.
Nice. No, no, I don't do debts. I've dealt with too many debts in my life. Okay,
You
so
said nice, and remember what your character would say, and you're like, God dang it.
yeah, I was like, ooh, but no. Okay. Um, so yeah, I talked to the guards and they said that they got an anonymous tip saying that just to check this place, you'll find out why. I'm thinking it has to do with Revenant,
The Revenant.
Revenant, the Revenant that came after you. Um, I know we talked about that there's a lot of people that might not have your best interest at heart, but do you know of anybody that has this sort of power, like to have a revenant for you, or anyone that could potentially get the guards on your case? Anything recent?
And he thinks, he goes, no, I've been racking my brain. But with the attacks on Kel's body being humanoid, zombie in nature, as well as an undead revenant appearing, it seems that we may have um, at least someone with the powers to control undead on our hands. Now, how they received my address or knew where to look, I have no clue, and perhaps the revenant was meant to paralyze me in time for the guards to arrive. But I'm I'm unsure who's attacking, but I do know that something is odd. Something is off.
Okay. All right. Well, honestly, I don't know. Like, I don't know where to go from here. Like, so as you, I'll be frank with you. Great Gay Triar is also being targeted. His brothel went up in flames, and he was attacked as well by ghouls and shadows. Um, and I was just sent here on the mission from the Viceroy because the Viceroy believes that he's going to be the next one. Um, his best buddy's on the table in your room, and it doesn't seem like a coincidence that his inner circle is being attacked. So yeah,
And
I just
yes,
wanted to
good.
fill you in on the loop.
Interesting. Well, it seems a number of Emerald Radicai's best buddies are on the table here. Um, I'm sure he told you all about how him, Gatriar, Kel, as well as oh dang, I forgot the name. Oh, one second. As well as Tannic, all had a very tight-knit group in when they were at the School of Selutar. I had the
He,
unruly responsibility of being one of their professors, and those four never seem to not get up to trouble, so I'm sure the trouble has followed them.
well, he didn't mention Tannic. He mentioned Gatriar and Kel.
And he kind of goes a little pale and goes, "Well, then perhaps you should maybe take that up with Emerald. I don't know if that's my place, but I definitely need to do something about this body. It I don't know where to go from here either, but if I were you, at least I believe that I should, if I had the access, I would, but I no longer do. Selutar's library should have a decent amount of information about necromancers. You might be able to get more information there, or at least speak to a professor there. But um, Gatriar should know about this. I'll be hiding. Of course, I'll be hiding the body and releasing a releasing a autopsy report that hopefully doesn't mention zombies or any undead. But it sounds like there is someone of the undead nature running amok, targeting high-profile individuals.
Where is Tannic, by the way?
And
Is
are you new to Cyanide?
I am. Yeah.
Tannic is the head enforcer of Cyanide. He spends most of his time
Oh,
in the uh, the Avidsia. He has his office there.
okay. All right. Okay. Well, it looks like you have your work cut out for you. We'll be taking our leave. All right,
Excellent.
come on, Toll.
And he leaves the he kind of starts heading back into the laboratory, and kind of and wishes you doing so. And we'll just try to move the door out on the way. I'll have to fix it, but just step around the door and don't let it hurt you on the way out. And so you leave his apartment, head back to the alleyway, close, making sure that there's no guards around the area. Um, and you start heading really, I mean, at this point, what options do you have at your disposal?
Well, the options include I could either go to Gatriar, see what he's doing, and let him know about the body, and tell him that um, Dr. Nicholas was attacked as well. Or I could head back to the Viceroy, um, tell him what's going on, see if he has any information, if anything has happened since, because I think I would assume it's morning by now. I don't know. I think this all
Yeah,
happened
I'd
in the,
say.
well,
I mean, yeah,
yeah, the guards came. Um, I could hit up Tanuk, was that his name?
panic.
Tanuk?
Yeah,
Tanuk.
panic.
See if he has anything. So let's see. That's where I'm at. Do you have to go soon?
I was wrapping it up. Yeah, no, I was.
Okay.
We're not going to be going anywhere. I'm
Yeah.
just. I was
Yeah.
just
So those are my options. Yeah.
excellent. All right. In that case, then, you leave the Nicholas Jekka's house. I don't know why I struggle. House. You leave the house and you begin to walk along the alleyways, still batting back and forth on what option is the best route to take at this point. And the sun rises. Another night of no sleep, and we will stop our session for here for now.
Right.
Perfect.
A
Well,
lot
I
to
really
think
appreciate
about.
you taking the time to hang out. Anyone who's listening or watching, thank you for participating, or not, I guess not participating.
Oh,
Thank you for for being involved. And like I said, um, on Mondays is when we have our live stream. The recording of this episode, as well as the audio only podcast version, will be uploaded this following Friday, and you can listen to us there as well. But until then, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
I have a joke to end it all off on.
Oh, yes, yes. What's the joke?
Okay. What did the cleric tell their team when they ran out of healing spells?
I love as a D&D theme. What?
Thoughts and prayers, everybody. Thoughts and prayers.
Okay, that's pretty good. I like it. All
Have a
right.
good morning.
See you later, everyone. Bye.